Hey folks, still kind of in like a weird temporary setup here, but there's too many cool things to talk about, okay? I've been playing a lot of Far Cry Primal, and I'm a big Far Cry fan, and I have a lot to say about it. Far Cry 3, I think, is like one of the best games ever. I remember when it came out, I think I chose it as my game of the year. And then Far Cry 4, I had played so much Far Cry 3 that I was kind of burnt out on Far Cry 4. I appreciate what it did and the stuff it added, but it was just more, and I didn't want it. So I played through it. I forced myself to play through it, but I didn't like go the extra mile and put like 70 hours into it like I did with Far Cry 3. So now I'm going into Far Cry Primal kind of fresh. So I really like it. I'm having a great time with it, but I think if you've played a lot of Far Cry 4, it might be too similar. And that's really weird because the setting is completely different. It's your cavemen. But it feels so much the same. It's still so Far Cry. You hunt, you gather resources, you craft, you upgrade things, and you liberate areas and, you know, claim them. They're not towers, but they're still areas that you have to wipe out all the guys and shoot the thing, and then you win. Now, I can acknowledge completely, like, that is like an overdone thing in games now. Like in Ubisoft games especially, it's just every single one is a checklist of shit to do, busy work. But I still, like, if the gameplay around it is fun, I still kind of really enjoy myself. So I'm enjoying Far Cry Primal a lot. I like in this one the emphasis on hunting, since these newer Far Cry games have had hunting. Now it feels really dangerous because you could just like unload an M4 machine gun into like a bear's face, but now it's the real deal because you actually feel legitimately threatened and you have to plan and track and kind of take a certain approach to things. Also, controlling and taming beasts is really cool. It's a letdown mechanically, how you just kind of walk up to them and then you press the button and they go shush, and then you're friends with the animal. But actually using them in gameplay is very cool. Kind of reminds me of using D-Dog in Metal Gear Solid 5. And they all have their own attributes, and I think that's really cool. And also you can ride saber-toothed tigers and bears. It just kind of goes with the whole Far Cry thing of like how I love it, and it's stupid and ridiculous and fun. But it actually takes itself way more seriously than the other Far Cry games. This is brutal and kind of serious. I kind of like that from the art style standpoint. Like, this game is gorgeous. The forests and the environments are amazing. And I was playing on PS4. I was totally blown away. But I really like the art style here where like everything is gross, everything is bloody, everything is nasty, everybody's fucked up because they're all gross, stupid cavemen. It's cool. And I just like the whole playing and exploring and running around and like building up my village. I really enjoy that stuff. The story, there's not much, but it's simple and it's good enough for me to, you know, at least follow it. And I will say the one letdown here really is kind of like the melee combat with, you know, short-range weapons. The bow and arrow and everything, they all work great. These weapons are realized. But when you're just hand-to-hand, like, clubbing someone, there's no block button, and you just kind of spam the hit button until they die. And I feel like the game needs a dodge button or like a dash to the side, like left or right, because it just feels kind of incomplete. Like, it doesn't feel like totally fully thought out. But thankfully, all other aspects of the game do, especially when you see all the systems coming together. Like when you see a woolly mammoth, you know, getting attacked by a saber-tooth and it jumps on its back and they start fighting and you're just there hiding in a bush. But there's a lot of hate out there for these types of games. Like, I guess people are just tired of this Far Cry formula. They want a whole completely new Far Cry game. I understand that. By this point, after I play this, I put a lot of time into it. I'm burnt out. Next Far Cry, please be completely different. But I'm digging it, yo. I'm totally feeling it. Is it a $60 full price game? Is it worth it? I'd say mostly, yeah. It's not an expansion. It's not a Blood Dragon. This is a full game, and the area map is freaking huge. But everyone has different opinions on that stuff, like the value and the content and whatever. I do want to know what you guys think about this game, though, in the comments. Let's talk about it. Because I've kind of, you know, there's a lot of people like up in the air. Like on Game Ranks videos, people hate it. Then on Twitter, some of you guys really love it and are having fun. So it's kind of mixed. It got mixed reviews, and I'm a little mixed myself, but I'm enjoying it. So let's talk about that down in the comments below. We can also talk on Twitter, Facebook. You guys know the drill. I'm Jake Baldino. As always, you can like me on Facebook, you can yell at me on Twitter, and you can subscribe because video games.